Hey, what is up guys, Gioco 1923 here, and today's video is going to be a combo video, or better to say test hands video about my Atlantean Mermail deck, because a lot of you asked me to show you some combos about this deck, but my version, as you can see from my deck profiles, is a going second version, so there are not so many hand loops that you can do. Because I'm not playing the Abyss lead version, and I don't play the -4 hand loop version, so I prefer to have some test hands just to show how to perform the basic combos of this deck. So the deck is already shuffled, as you can see. It's not in a particular order, and since this deck is made to go in second, I will start with the going second hands. So maybe we can do one or two going second test hands and one or two going first test hands. So maybe with the side deck. So let's start by going second, and let's see what we can draw. So let's shuffle the deck. Good shuffle here, and let's get started. So this is the deck here, and let's draw 5 cards plus the 6th one. So these are our first 6 cards. As you can see, no starter for now, but we got a draw lock. So as I said before, this is a going second hand. So of course you will use draw lock. This is pretty sure against Sky Strikers, Tricksstars, and other stuff, to Draco, or also Mermail itself. Draw lock is really amazing. So discard draw lock and stop the opponent. So I think, and I guess that the opponent wouldn't have done much in the board. So you just stop the opponent with the draw lock, and now we can draw the 6th one. And that is another Abyss Megalo. So this hand is pretty bad actually. I'm just running 2 copies of Abyss Megalo, but I can still break with this, as you can see, and that's the reason why I'm just running 2 copies of it. So now what you can do, it depends on the board that the opponent made, and as I said before, through the draw lock, I think that the opponent doesn't have had a good board, so it's possible that you can activate Megalo if you want, discarding 2 cards in the form of these 2 maybe, or these 2, it depends, maybe these 2. Or otherwise you can use the swap frog in order to do your totally awesome. Just special summon this once and normal summon it the second time in order to do the swap frog. But I think that this will be most effective. So activate Megalo, discarding the second copy of Megalo, which is a brick, and the swap frog that can be used later in the future in order to special summon Megalo. So you still have your normal summon viable in the form of the Atlantean Marksman, that if it deals damage is able to attack, is able to special summon another Atlantean from the deck. So activate Megalo's effect in order to add the Abyss scale of the Mizuchi. Here we are. So Mizuchi gives you the extra boost for your Megalo. Activate Mizuchi on the Megalo in order to make it 3200 bit stick. Then you can normal summon your marksman. If the opponent's got some hand trap like the Ghost Ogre and trying to Ghost Ogre your Megalo when you search the Mizuchi, you can activate Call by the Grave in order to counter it, or just set this for the next turn. And then you can easily attack on the opponent's monster with the Megalo. You can attack once with Megalo, or you can activate Megalo, popping the marksman, and marksman will trigger and pop a face down card, so maybe a Mirror Force, something like that if you are scared, and then you can attack twice with Megalo. But I suggest you just attack once with Megalo and the second time with the marksman, then activate marksman effect in order to special summon your Neptabis, and then Neptabis will attack again for another 800, and then in main phase 2 you can activate Neptabis and restart your plays by sending Dragoons and adding 2 cards that you need, maybe in the form of an infantry and another starter for the next turn in the form of Diva. So this will be your first turn board. So you got one disruption and maybe the second disruption in the form of the Call by the Grave that you can use in an easy way, and still a good board. Also, if we brick are pretty hard. So let's try once again, and let's take a look if we can do something better. So let's try again going second hand, and let's see if we can start with our friend Neptabis, or the Diva, or 1 for 1 is still okay. So let's shuffle. Here we are. Okay, let's see now. Always 5 cards plus the 5th one. Okay, draw luck is still here, so really nice. So as you can see, we got Tius, but no starter. Tius is a starter, yes, but without dragoons is not a good starter. So as before, we can just activate draw luck on the opponent after desires, after the duality, after anything, because all the meta surges. So after an engage, after everything. So just stop the opponent and the opponent board will be bad. Then we draw into the 6th one, which is another swap frog. So in this case, I think I will go into Murray of Greed in order to shuffle back swap frog and the heavy infantry. So you still got your Tius. Murray of Greed lets you shuffle back 2 water monster into the deck in order to draw 3 cards. So let's see if this mulligan will help us in order to get some starter and to OTK the opponent. So now we got a lot of outs in the form of Atlantean Dragoons, because we got a Megalo in hand, in the form of Neptabis, 1 for 1, and Diva. So let's shuffle. Here we are. And now we can draw 3 cards. So 1, another Call by the Grave, which I ran 2 copies of, another Murray of Greed, and a Running Toadin. So really bad, really bad. Today is really bad. So let's try once again with Murray of Greed, because it's not once per turn, and we shuffle back Tius and Running Toadin for a second try and draw other 3 cards. So now we lost our Tius, which is bad, because if we draw into Atlantean Dragoons, we are not able to pitch it. So let's shuffle and draw other 3 cards, and let's see if we can OTK now. Of course, you got double copy of Call by the Grave, so the opponent cannot ash your Murray of Greed, as you can see. This card is really protective for you and really effective in this deck, especially because you just want to OTK. Then Ash Blossom, useless, Swap Frog, useless, and Neptabis, here we are. So this is OTK. This is OTK. Neptabis plus Water Monster is OTK. So let's see how. Normal summon Neptabis, activate Neptabis effect, and send in Dragoons to the graveyard in order to add Atlantean monster in the form of what you need and what your opponent has done before in his own turn. So if they got something like a monster, you can add an heavy infantry. If the opponent's got something like a back row, you can add the marksman. Then Dragoons will trigger to add to you your Megalo. Here we are. Then we can activate Megalo by sending 2 water monster to the graveyard in order to special summon itself. And then infantry will trigger, popping 1 face-up card, and Megalo will add to you the Abyss Scale of the Mizuchi, as we have done before. So you add Mizuchi, then you can activate Megalo's effect to pop 1 water monster in attack position in order to let this attack 2 times. Then Neptabis will trigger, giving to you an Atlantean from the graveyard. Then you can equip the Mizuchi to the Megalo, and then attack twice with this, plus the Atlantean Dragoons, and this is OTK. And I want to remember that we had the draw lock for the first turn of the opponent, and 2 copies of Call by the Grave. If you don't steal OTK with this, you can set 2 Call by the Grave, and you still have 1 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring in your hand. So it will be pretty tough for your opponent to go over this board in any way. So, but I think that this will have an OTK with no problems. So that's fine. So the second hand was into an OTK. So let's try now going first We can also north side. Let's see what we can do in a going first occasion. And I want to remember once again that this build is not made for going first, so we don't have so many hand loop stuff we can do, but we can still drop Mooling Glacier if we start with Neptavis plus a Water Monster. So now we just draw 5 cards. So Neptavis is still here, Draw Lock is there, and this is nice. So as you can see, if you went second with this, let's see the 6th one, Brick. If you go second with this, it's amazing. Just draw lock the opponent for the 3rd time in a row, and then goes into slumber, destroy everything, and then Neptavis plus water is OTK. Going first, what we can do? We got the Swap Frog and we got the Neptavis, but we just don't have enough water monster to perform a Treatle plus Neptavis combo, so we would just go into Neptavis one. So activate Neptavis after you normal summon it, and send Dragoons to the graveyard in order to add any Atlantean you need, and you will add another copy of Atlantean Dragoons, and then Dragoons will trigger, giving to you of course an Abyss Megalo that is here. Okay, here we are. So Dragoons to the graveyard, Neptavis on the field, and Megalo and Dragoons added to your hand. So this is the situation now. Then you can activate Abyss Megalo, sending 2 water cards from your hand to the graveyard in order to summon it in the form of the Marksman or the Swap Frog. It depends on what you want to do. And the other copy of Dragoons. Then Dragoons will trigger and Megalo will trigger. Dragoons give it to you Mooling Glacier, and Megalo giving to you an Abyss Scale of the Mitsuchi. So the problem here is that we still don't have the Mermail Abyss Glacier. Otherwise, in this case, you just go Mermail Abyss Glacier with these 2, and then you can also equip the Mitsuchi, so Mitsuchi will be useful. But now Mitsuchi will not be useful at all. So now you can go in a link 2 with this 2 together in the form of Mr. Boy. They will give an extra boost to your opponent monsters, to your monsters, your order monsters. And then if you have, in this case, you got 5 waters in graveyard, and you can just special summon your Mooling Glacier and just take out 2 cards from the opponent hand. So this will be the situation. Your field is not so strong, but you still have a Draw Lock and a Slumber for the next turn. So it will be hard for the opponent to go over this. And then let's see what we draw next. Raigeki. So really hard for the opponent to go over this. As you can see, also with this build, if you start first in the form of Neptavis plus a water monster, you can always go to Mooling Glacier and then reap 2 cards from the opponent's hand, plus all the entraps that will stop the opponent and disrupt the opponent in any way. So let's try last one, always going first. Let's see what we can do. Still thinking about playing again Nimbles, because Nimbles are really nice in my device. I'm still waiting for Crystal Needle Fiber in order to play the Genex engine together with the Nimbles, and that would be really fine in my device. So let's try once again going first hand. We are going second deck, and as you can see, this is not good at all. So if you go first with this, you basically lose, I think. I'm not so sure, because you still got 2 hand traps and you can set your call by the graveyard. As you can see, this is a problem. This is a problem if you build a strongly going second list. So in this case, you just set your call by the grave and hope that your hand trap will help you to go to the next turn, and you will draw a Neptavis, as you can see. So in the next turn, you can easily win the game if you can stop the opponent with these 2. And it's still probable, because also of Call by the Grave, and this hand will actually do a lot of stuff. So with these 2, you can stop 2 cards from the opponent. With this one, you can stop the 3rd one, and then the next turn, with the help of Neptavis, you can steal OTK, because you got a Neptavis plus a water monster, and then also the Monster Reborn, in order to special summon back from your graveyard maybe a Dragoons or something that your opponent used in its own turn. So that's it. I think that deck is pretty good in my advice. I don't know what to change. Maybe let me know in the comments down below what do you think I can change in my deck, in my build. I will leave you in the description box below the list of this deck. So that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you got some suggestions, please comment down below, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, support me, and see you in the next one.